Is there a man in the house? Get me a man in the house, because y'all not man enough out there. You gotta man up, bro. Man up. Be a man. Be a man. Well, this is what Nancy Pelosi is saying about Trump. Have you seen this? So she gave this interview on MSNBC, and she claimed that Trump is not man enough to testify in front of this January 6th committee. As though Nancy Pelosi is woman enough to testify in front of this committee or any committee. Somebody needs to subpoena Nancy Pelosi, because it was Nancy Pelosi, along with the mayor of D.C., the D.C. police, top brass in the military, that turned down Trump's request for additional security, which he asked for about 4 or 5 days before January 6th. If they didn't turn him down entirely, they at least stalled it. So I have an article here at The Guardian. This came out today. It's by Ed Pinkleton. Ed Pinkleton in New York. Now, no knock on Ed Pinkleton. I'm sure he's a fine reporter. But aren't you tired of these know-it-all reporters in New York, Chicago, and L.A.? Somehow they're more enlightened than you and me. For once, I'd like to have a reporter from small-town America. At least reporters from small-town America, they're more in line with what the average American thinks. So it says here, as jury selection begins in a criminal trial of the Trump Organization for Tax Fraud, and that's going on as we speak in New York today, the top Democrat in the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi, has taunted Donald Trump with being too cowardly to testify in another legal challenge bearing down on him. The House Speaker goaded the former president in an MSNBC interview over the subpoena that was served on Friday, ordering him to testify under oath before the committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack, of which they have nothing, no evidence. Quote, I don't think he's man enough to show up, Pelosi said. Well, where were you, Nancy Pelosi, on January 6th? Trump has been given until November 4th, which is on the eve of the midterm elections, to produce numerous documents demanded by the House committee relating to his efforts to overturn his defeat in the 2020 presidential election, which culminated in the Capitol insurrection. Was it really an insurrection? As mentioned before, somebody taking a selfie and saying, hi, Ma, hi, Dad, isn't an insurrection. The French Revolution, now that's an insurrection. He is then expected to be called before the panel on or about November 14th. And of course, he wants this to be televised. It should be. It should be televised. Quote, I don't think his lawyers will want, getting back to Pelosi here, I don't think his lawyers will want him to show up because he has to testify under oath. Oh, that's a low blow, Nancy. A real low blow. You think Trump is that stupid to perjure himself under oath? And I mentioned before, this committee is not a court of law. And in fact, Trump, and I meant to mention this in a previous video, Trump is not in office anymore. So how can you put a former president on trial? He's no longer president. We'll see if he's man enough to show up, she said. Pelosi's archaic comments were made as Trump's legal problems appeared to be closing in on him. Ooh, they're closing in on Trump. The walls are closing in. They're going to get him somehow, some way. They're going to get Trump. Now, I didn't vote for Trump, mentioned that before, but they're going to somehow get Trump because they don't want him running in 2024. That's what this is all about. On Monday, jury selection began in a criminal trial brought by the District Attorney of Manhattan. It accuses the Trump Organization, the former president's business conglomerate, of a range of crimes, including tax fraud and handing out undeclared perks to senior executives. Well, that's really nothing new that happens all the time in business. Exchange this for that. It's how things get done in business. Trump is not charged personally in the case, which is expected to last a month, but could be affected, or could affect his reputational damage, or rather, could affect, the grammar's a little off here, but it could be affecting his company. Cause damage, reputable damage to his company. Boy, can I get the words together today? Well, it would help if they would watch their grammar. You ever notice that with these articles? They tend to crank them out. Every time they do, they miss a couple words here or there. You go back and reread it, you're like, huh? What do you mean by that? The case has been brought by the Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg. The star witness is likely to be Alan Weisselberg, the chief financial officer of the Trump Organization. Now, Weisselberg pleaded guilty in August to accepting off-the-books untaxed perks, including rent, car payments, and school tuition. He secured a plea deal in which a possible maximum 15-year prison sentence has been reduced to 5 months in exchange for his cooperation with prosecutors. You gotta tell us what Trump did behind the scenes on January 6th. You know, you gotta tell us, you just gotta. We gotta get him somehow. Lawyers for the Trump Organization are expected to argue in court that Weisselberg arranged the perks on his own behalf without any complicity from the company. Among the documents that Trump has been ordered to turn over to the January 6th committee are all records of phone calls and texts sent or received by the former president on the day of the U.S. Capitol attack. The committee has also specifically requested any communications between Trump and the far-right extremist groups, the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. Yeah, like Trump had this constant secret communication with the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers. I don't think so. They're not even in his league. It remains to be seen whether Pelosi's prediction that Trump will duck an appearance before the committee proves to be accurate. He has indicated he would be willing to testify, but with the proviso that he does so in live proceedings, which is exactly how it should go down. Now, over the weekend, Liz Cheney, the Republican vice chairperson of the committee, rebuffed the idea of a live Trump spectacle. She told NBC News the committee would treat the event with great seriousness, as though this January 6th committee is not a circus. Quote, Trump's not going to turn this into a circus, Cheney said. The trial of the Trump Organization emerged out of a criminal investigation launched by the Manhattan DA into whether Trump fraudulently distorted his company's assets and earnings to reduce his tax burden and secure preferable deals with banks and other lenders. Bragg pulled back in January from charging Trump personally, leading to the resignation of two top prosecutors in protest. So this is at The Guardian, somewhat of a lengthy article. You can go check this out. It's by Ed Pinkleton. Nancy Pelosi said that Trump is not man enough to testify. But he should. Oh, he should testify and throw egg on these people's face. And all these people pointing fingers, how many of them are guilty themselves in Washington, D.C. of getting kickbacks? Quite a few, including probably people like Liz Cheney, Bernie Thompson, Adam Kinzinger, you know, the people heading up this committee. Glass houses, anybody? So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you know what to do. You can also follow me at Instagram, #JasonComposes. Find me at Twitter, Cultural Confederacy at Twitter. This is the Cultural Confederacy saying peace out. Stay safe, everybody. God bless this thing we call the United States, and I'll catch you next time.